Crossing the tracks anywhere other than a proper crossing is illegal. It puts you and others in danger.
Trains are fast and quiet, and you won't hear them until it is too late.
We can't stop quickly. If you are on the tracks, even if we can see you, we can't stop in time.
Walking over rail bridges, there's no room, no way off.
People always think that they'll be fine, but we've seen how quickly things go wrong.
Train tracks belong to Kiwi Rail. Like, this is a railway line, not a walkway.
When these incidents happen, it affects the families, the community, rail staff, and the first responders.
Tracks are for trains, not for shortcuts, not for stunts, not for stories. Stay off, stay safe.